by virtue of being a woman, a lot of things will come naturally to you. You cannot stop it. But iske andar I had to work on not making it obvious that I'm emotionally invested because I'm doing my job. This was one thing we wanted to do it different from Mulk, where my character in that film was standing up for her own family and then fighting the case. When we discussed about how it happens in real, in specifically with regards to Assi, and I went to Patiala House to see actually how different proceedings go on. It is a very cold atmosphere. Lawyers are doing their job. I'm supposed to play public prosecutor who's probably handling numerous such cases on daily basis, day in, day out. And in the film, her character is not in any way related to me except womanhood. So, of course, by virtue of it being a film and we want to convey certain things, you have to have an emotional arc eventually towards the end. But in real, we wanted to make it look like it's a profession. So first, I need to look at it with a thorough professional lens and not just emotional, because I would have been encountering countless such cases. So yeah, so that had to be drawn. Okay, at this moment, you will turn little emotional. At this moment, you will start reacting a little more. Before this, you are just treating it like any other case and just doing your job properly. So yeah, so that, but the scenes beyond the court, those also, with the scene you're talking about, by that time, a slight bit of emotional investment had seeped in. And obviously, when it's almost like you need that final nail in the coffin, or you have that final, in pack of cards, that final card that you place and everything falls down, right? So just a little bit of trigger and then a lot of your personal anger comes out. So you will see those flashes coming out from Ravi, but I tried to keep it very, very cold, professional up until the pre-climax, climax a little bit. So it feels like she's doing her job, which is how it is actually in real.
Did you meet any public prosecutors and maybe who were like into rape cases and
Actually, I went to Patiala House and I spent a few hours there roaming around in different rooms, where the different cases are going on. I didn't specifically come across a sexual assault. I didn't come across an assault case, but I did see the public prosecutors. So the odd thing was when I went with a bunch of lawyers there. So when I saw a little female there, and I saw her, and they were like, she was going through files very diligently at that moment, and the lawyers with me told me that she must be just studying the case now. Yeah, it's like that's exactly how it happens, because they are so overburdened with so many cases. You are a government servant when you're public prosecutor, so you have so many cases going on simultaneously. She has to actually jump from one room to the other within a few minutes. So whatever time she has this waiting period before her name is called out, she is quickly just going through the case notes. So I saw her like literally like just sitting close by on a table and just going through some, like how you're studying just before the exam kind of a vibe. So these were very different from what we imagine of in our heads. So this I started realizing, okay, this is why I need to play it cold up till a particular point at least.
She saw that which spreads awareness of what the movie is showing and talking about. And people going in theatres and watching it is a heavy sign. Taapsee, for you as a leading actress of the industry, how essential you think is that the audience goes and watches something like Assi in theatres?
See, we are on the verge of becoming an extinct species. We means films like Assi. We are on the verge. Because, that there's a certain template that our so-called commercial cinema abides by. And we don't conventionally fall in that template of sorts, right? But the reality is, people think that, okay, no, but these kind of films will keep coming on OTT, we'll keep watching it. No, OTTs don't want these kind of films either. They have clear mandates that only the films that are working in theaters are the films that they want to pick. Because they want to take that theater audience to their platform. So these kind of films, they don't want anymore. They're like, "Ha, ye wali audience we already have. We don't want these kind of films anymore. We want those massy, those like the pot boilers, so that we can get the massy audience of our country to subscribe to their platform." That's why I say we are on verge of becoming extinct unless people realize that we need to watch. Sometimes it's good to watch reality as well. Like I keep giving example of the fact we don't eat the same cuisine every day, do we? In every meal, do we? So I understand you want to go have some Asian someday, you know, some Mughlai someday, but someday you want to have dal chawal also, right? This is our reality, our basic. This is our basic. So I never said that, okay, that's not the cinema that you should subscribe to either. We should subscribe to all kinds of cinema. Also this. So that's why I feel we are slowly going towards the extinction, and only audience can help it, and by going in theaters and watching this. I hope they realize this before we lose this, and then we won't have the right to crib that our cinema cannot compete with world cinema. We only make a particular kind of films. We have a lot of people saying we don't make rooted stories, but when did you support rooted stories? We have people saying we don't make good cinema, but when was the last time you actually supported good cinema? By sitting at home and watching it on OTT is not how you support good cinema. If you like the film, spread the word. Let more people come into theaters and watch it. That's how you support good cinema, then boast about it at world level. Otherwise, we'll have the same palette every Friday, same type of films releasing. I think then also they'll get bored of it. So yeah, yeah, it's a very suicidal attempt in terms of where our cinema is going if we stop watching all kinds of film and only stick to a particular kind of films.
Very few, I don't know the feeling, but I want to hear specifically. You realize, there's a responsibility towards society, towards cinema, and you are at the top of the list. The kind of work that you've done in the last few years, and उन movies को बहुत सारा प्यार भी मिला है, acclaim भी मिला है. But tell me, are there any silent battles that you feel you are going through as a producer, as an actor?
Yeah, every day. Victories are way less than the battles that actors like me go through. One is the battle to even get a film through. In the sense, like, there are kind of films like this film, because he was there, I had to not think of a lot of things that would have been a battle for me. But there are so many other films, there are scripts that I really like. But I need someone to believe that it's going to work or it is the right film to do, which is very difficult for a female actor who's headlining a film still, no matter how many successful films you have given, because I have chosen a path where I've not taken the conventional success route. I have to prove myself with every film. I will never be given the leeway, okay, yeah, you've given success, so we know that you'll be able to get this one through. I will not get that on platter. I'll have to fight for each and every film. Some fights are easier than the other. As I said, this one was easier because he was there. But there are some that I'm constantly fighting. And I have to actually wait. Acha, meri ye film chal jayegi na, so maybe I will be able to get the other one through, and maybe that one will be able to see the light of the day. These are the kind of struggles that actors like me have to go through, only because I refuse to take the easier route, and where I could just play a character who I cannot, 10 years later, I cannot show it to my kids that I did this. It's a easier route, but it's so painful to go through it for those 40, 50, 60 days of shoot, and then it's going to stay for posterity. So because I've chosen that ideological path, I don't know, galat nakshatra mein paida ho gayi main. But yeah, it's a daily pain almost. And these victories, they mean so much more than just a box office success. Actually, not even my victory. Any other female's victory helps me. So that's why I'm celebrating probably as much if for a Mardani's success, because I know this is going to open up windows for a lot of movies that are driven by females. So yeah, it is a battle.